Welcome to VIZ Studio, your go-to channel for 3D visualization tutorials and tips. In this video, we will walk you through the complete installation process for Corona Renderer step by step. Before you begin, let us make sure your system is ready. You need a 64-bit Windows operating system, either Windows 8, 10, or 11. Your CPU should support the SSE 4.1 instruction set. Any processor from the last 10 years will work. For RAM, 32 GB is the minimum. 64 GB is recommended for heavy scenes. You also need 3ds Max 2018 or newer, or Cinema 4D already installed on your machine. First, go to chaos.com/corona/download. You will see the universal installer. This single installer works for both 3ds Max and Cinema 4D. Click the download button. The installer is around 500 megabytes. If you do not have a Chaos account yet, you will need to create one. It is free. Once downloaded, right-click the installer and select Run as administrator. The installer will detect which versions of 3ds Max or Cinema 4D are installed on your system. You can choose between standard and custom installation modes. Standard mode installs everything automatically. Custom mode lets you pick specific components and 3ds Max versions. Here is what gets installed with Corona. Corona Renderer itself, the core rendering engine. Chaos Scatter, for distributing objects like vegetation across your scenes. Chaos Cosmos, a built-in asset library with materials, objects, HDRIs, and more. Corona Image Editor, a standalone tool for post-processing your renders. Corona Standalone, for rendering without opening 3ds Max. And the Corona Material Library, which downloads additional materials from the Chaos server. After installation, you need to activate your license. When you launch 3ds Max, Corona will prompt you to sign in to your Chaos account. If you have a paid license, it will activate automatically after signing in. For the free trial, select the trial option. You get 30 days with no watermarks and no resolution limits. You can also check your license status anytime by going to Render Setup, then System, then About Chaos Corona. Now let us set Corona as the active renderer in 3ds Max. Press F10 to open the Render Setup dialog. Under the Common tab, scroll down to Assign Renderer. Click the button next to Production and select Corona Renderer from the list. Click Save as Defaults if you want Corona to be your default renderer for all new scenes. To test your installation, create a simple scene with a teapot or box. Add a Corona light and a Corona camera to your scene. Press Shift+R to start interactive rendering. If the render window opens and you see your scene, Corona is installed and working correctly. If Corona does not appear in the renderer list, try reinstalling with custom mode and make sure the correct 3ds Max version is checked. If you see a license error, open your browser and go to localhost port 30304 to check the Chaos license server status. Make sure your firewall is not blocking the Chaos license server. That is it. You now have Corona Renderer fully installed and ready to use. Subscribe to VIZ Studio for more tutorials on 3D rendering and visualization.